boy, what you looking at? I got a TKO on wherever the pool is at. What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? Got two TVs of my own, I don't need that. Hold up, no sir. Step into the mic, bring me closer. Sabotage back in the lab, and to stop that you gonna have to go through both. That swole up. Anytime I pull up the bars, I buck up my shoulders and pour the heart. Word to God, my gears push the start a feature, but my skill set out of cart. Woo! You don't understand. I got 7 sins in one palm of my hand. Balls are right rigid and bodies get numb every time I demonstrate the main rule of thumb.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Monday night, baby. You know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the knockout hour with the notorious one, the biggest one, your mama love them and all them, TKO. And I'm glad to be back here on this Monday. That's right, on June the 23rd, man. I'm so blessed and so happy to be here. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in right now and everybody else joining on us later as we have grown over 200,000. That's right, 200,000 of them things as we've been sitting here in the past year and a half at this point. And we'd like to just thank all you guys for joining us here. Everybody with the staff, of course, DC doing this thing. But man, I'm definitely appreciate the love and the time you guys give me for this hour to fill you in on some combat sports news. There was some things that went down. Retirement happened. Um, had a face to face with a big promise that I think that a lot of people will start to enjoy about boxing. But we'll get into that in a little bit when it comes down to the knockout hour when we step into the square circle. But man, what a week it was. I'm just again happy to be here this Monday, being able to spend plenty of time with my family. As I got a week ahead of me, and plenty of work, and I have to wrestle this Saturday as well. For a lot of people that know for sure what's going on, my main man Brandon, what's happening? Walter always joined the show. Thank you guys. We had a good friend join us last week. I hope you're watching as well this week, man. I appreciated your comments and had a great time. But I know that reflecting back last week, um, pretty much when it come down to my regular life, which is more often than me actually performing, a lot of the times, man. As I've got older, I started to learn how to choose my battles wisely, and that's like saying in regards to, um, they always say in wrestling, get in every card so you have every opportunity, so on and so forth, which is very good, and I appreciate those times that I was that type of person at that point in my career to just jump in the car and go see what happens. However, that's not the same um, because I've grown a lot during that time, and a lot of things have been going a lot better in my life. So I don't have to be that type of person to be able to jump in a car and just say forget everything, my responsibilities right now. I do enjoy the fact that in my life that I get to have plenty of time with my children and my wife. Um, this past weekend, one of my brothers. All right, cool story. He was all right, so he told me that he was engaged or announced he was getting engaged to his new lady friend, Brittany, correct? Gotcha. So so when it came down to it, my wife's over there. So when it came down to us coming to meet them at the house and meeting their family, um, again, everybody coming together, me and my wife walked up, talking to my brother for a second, and I talked to the dad. And so I'm talking to dad, and I let out the fact I asked the question. I was like, "Hey, so when is the date for the wedding? When is it going to happen?" And everybody looked at me like I had like 20 eyes or something like that, like I said something wrong. So apparently the dad did not know, which he just later on just told me. And man, what a embarrassing type of situation that was. However, everything was smoothed out. I thought it was hilarious. So sometimes for some people, if you're going to surprise the few that don't know, at least tell the ones that do know something, man. Give me a heads up or don't say that. I don't know. But I felt pretty embarrassed, but hey, it is what it is. They all cool about it. And I'm glad they're gonna get married. I think that's awesome. Me being someone that's been married for this point 4 years now, going on 5. Oh, excuse me, 5 years going on 6. There we go. that Oh man, thank you, Walter. Love you too, brother. Man, man, you always been there from the beginning. So I always definitely for sure love and appreciate you on the show, man. Thank you for joining us every week. But yeah, you see how my wife had to correct me. 5 years going on 6. Right. So for me, uh, I see that as a man's taking the extra step, and as well as the woman that becoming one at this point in their lives. That's the difference. You take all the years of experience, and this is my scenario. I like to break down to a lot of people when I give advice on marriage. Is that now take the years that you have on this earth, your age, your birth age, whatever, and then you take your partner's age. Y'all put that two together, and that's how many years you two combined have on this earth of knowledge or so many other things that you two can share with one another. And I ain't gonna tell my wife's age, just just I say what I am, but a lot of times you got to do it together. And we all fall down in life. We all make mistakes, and it's okay. But that's why you come together as one, because if you fall, I'm there with you, and vice versa. So a lot of people just need to remind themselves that. Um, I would say, let's go and keep it on that subject. See, when David Banner said something on the podcast on the Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay interview, where he said he don't do business with men that cheat. And I like the notion of that because that says so much about people's integrity that if someone's willing to do something wrong in a relationship, and then we're talking about a so much of a deeper bond, then what would you do to me as an individual? And I see that completely. So I do like little settlements like that. As a man, I try to pick pieces of where I find knowledge that what I could put in my life and absorb that knowledge and be able to use it. Because again, you don't know what person really needs to hear the message as long as you got the message and the message was received. Because me running a business, I had to learn that. I had to learn a lot of things, but definitely I had to learn that again when you um, and make partnerships and you start to be shaking a lot of hands and making deals that the person is pretty much as upright as they could be, because you don't want to make a solid foundation on shaky ground. You know what I mean? All right. So we got my man Brian, man. What's going on? It's that's Air Force Base. My man, all right. What's that? Ramstein Air Force Base. What's up, man? Shout out to you, man. The Armed Forces for sure. Hey man, whoo! Thank you guys, man. Like, especially the Air Force. My mom was in the Air Force. I was born on the Air Force Base. I think that was dope. But especially right now at this time, it's very crucial. So to all Americans and the armed forces, we love you guys. Please get home safe. We thank you for defending us for sure, whatever the outcome may be. Of course, number America's gonna come out number one. That's one thing I will say as a proud American. But all politics aside, we love you guys here from the Knockout Hour. Please be safe as y'all possibly can. And thank you. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you listening to the show, man. Absolutely, man. Thank you, brother. If you could tell us, where is that base? Is it overseas, or we're talking about? I'm assuming overseas, but where about where you stationed now? We'll love to know that. And also too, like if you got more detail, you can let us know. Like, hey, I'm just sitting here talking, man. Just let me know. We'll vibe out and be able to talk about that, man. But much love to you guys, and please be safe. Germany, got you. Okay, for sure. And out there in Germany, I know things is very tense, man. Could possibly be with a lot of things going on with the back and forth in the Middle East right now. So again, man, we're praying for you guys. I really am. Definitely got a lot of respect for the military and armed forces. We love you guys. Please be safe. But I know that a lot of people also as well listen to the show. That's ex military forces and people that's at home. We thank you guys for your service. And then on that note, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and go to a song real quick. We're gonna go with Black Metallica from OC Fitzy. After that, give y'all a little bit of the rundown of what happened this past weekend in some active sports. And heck yeah, bro, we're gonna get into some wrestling at the end. All right, I see you, wrestling fan. Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna listen to Black Metallica, then we're gonna get into some combat sports news. All right,
Girls want head. See how quiet it got? They told me black work. Then he
pull me out the dirt, like what's the word? I'm the nigga with the work. Wait, you probably heard about him. Call low to get merch, get herb out him. Call Black Phillip when you want a CERN ballot. I make an earn out it. They still tracking my return data. They already know when the GOAT coming. Dope boys, dope running, trying to go fund it. Wait, just keep punching till they don't run it. The flow hunted, the ghost got doom in it. Move in it like we in the house, but a room in it. Loom in it, the shine from the moon hit it. Zoom in it, peep the design. You see the grooves in it? You see why I pissed Neil off for 2 minutes? Wait. Wait, I'm God getting his wheel off for 2 minutes. Wait, we mastered the P's, we gave it new limits. Wait, losing my brother was a shocker though. Turn to the Zulu, let's see what Shaka know. Mama been telling me my chakra low, but shit selling, so I got to go. Got the glow, let them know for a couple of bands, niggas are rock and roll. Hey. My nigga, you're not the GOAT. Official, nigga, we ain't even a band. As soon as we land, start looking for Metallica. Hey, if you see we leaving the land, it's me and the band. Looking for Metallica, my nigga, look. We already got a drummer, he know everybody number. We just looking for Metallica. Hey, we probably get it for the steel. Tell him put us on a bill with Metallica. Wait, you know my cousin hate flying. He more accustomed to the iron or walk through customers in a line. Get him accustomed to a time, that's a walk through a customer to times. Wait, they just finna bust another rhyme. I can flip modes. I'm Tim Duncan on the big goals. Wait, my pen jumping if you didn't know. You say a bunch of niggas spitting, no. We ain't trying to hear it, cuh. A spirit bomb, clear your spirit up. And leave a nigga hearing us like he here with us. Hear the bug from the first person, first placing, first take 'em. The old basement, the old basic. He'll let everybody go, then flow in a full house, but it's Oasis. It's cause your phone wouldn't pair in the Matrix. It's record players on the spaceships. Wait, look, nigga, we ain't even a band. As soon as we land, she be looking for Metallica. Wait, if you see we leaving the land, it's me and the band. Shit, we looking for Metallica, my nigga. Wait, we already got a drummer, he know everybody number. We just looking for Metallica. Wait, we probably get it for the steel.
A nigga tried to rob me in New York about a month ago. Now, wasn't that dumb? A nigga gonna stick up a black man. It is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's OC from NC with Black Metallica. Man, if you like it, you love it, please check it out on all type of devices you can listen to your music. You got Apple, you got Spotify, so many YouTube and all that good stuff. So man, if you love it, please check out OC from NC. That's Black Metallica. And if you want your music played here during the knockout hour, right there during that time, that's a hip hop spotlight moment. If you want your song to be played, please hit up my email at iconprowrestling.tko@gmail.com. All righty. So really quick, I'm gonna get into this match or show I got to do this weekend. That is, it's called Summer Bash, and the company is Next Revolution Lucha Libre, as we like to say around here, NRLL. And they're a good promotion. I've known of them in the past, and they asked your boy TKO to come out and represent it for sure, man. I'm definitely going to get in action this Saturday. Is June 28th at the Pillar Rec Center. That's at 1300 Skies Avenue. And that's in Greensboro, North Carolina. The doors open up at 5:45, and the bell time is 6:30, and the tickets is only $10. You don't want to miss it. Again, man, that's the Pillar Rec Center. As start time's gonna be at 6:30. You don't want to miss it. It's only $10. So come on now, support some local wrestling, then watch TKO. Go ahead and watch somebody and get somebody to fade for sure. But anyway, man, when it comes down to combat news, as you will. There was a lot of things that went on in boxing this past weekend between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. So when it comes down to this new fight league over here in Saudi Arabia, man, they changing it up. They're saying they want to sit there and get some knockouts because they have mentioned the fact that whoever gets again a knockout gets a big bonus. So for me, I'm over here first and foremost talking like somebody I don't like. But anyway, I just think it's dope that even in the UFC, you got fight bonuses for again knockout of the night or stuff like that. And I think it's great that boxing promotions are willing to step it up and do that as well. We also know that Dana White's going to get into the boxing world with a boxing promotion, so we should see how that breaks down. But let's look between and break down the facts of this matchup because we got plenty of months. It's set in September, so it got a while. But knowing that Terrence Crawford could be a three weight class undisputed champion of all three classes, that's something right there that you can retire on, have a legacy that will put you amongst the greats. Because it's not his fault that he faced the people that's in front of him, right? A good example of that would be somewhere like when people talk about a Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson was in his prime, he was destroying anybody and everybody, right? Now there was some fights that he did go to decision. So let that be said, he really was working a lot in the earlier parts of the match and get definitely some of the middle parts. So if you can go 11-12 with Mike, he's gonna probably win 8-4, right? But the whole thing is that heck, you could probably pick up an early round or two with Mike until he gets really cooking. You can even probably go that far, right? But to say the bigger difference to me is that you look at someone like Terrence Crawford, the pedigree of champions or the people he faced, where it's not known as to say someone like Canelo Raz's uh, career at this point. Canelo have lost to at this point in his career, looking at David Bivol, which was a lot heavier than him at the time. Also has a lot more again experience at that level where they played a catchweight fight. And a lot of people don't talk about it as much. But it's the same thing for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford coming up, a couple of weight classes to go against Canelo. He could face a lot of trouble. And one of the things that I love me some boxing is to know that the weight discrepancy could weigh on a fighter like Terrence Crawford. Now, when you're cutting weight and you're always fighting in certain weight classes, again, going up in weight, he did not look as well as he normally did in his last fight when he went up in his weight class. He won by decision because, yeah, he had decisive wins. Yep, making that tradition. But he had decisive rounds won by again, no question at all. But when it comes down to knowing that he's going up at two more weight classes, they're going against Canado. That right there is going to really definitely be a problem if Canado can find a way to lean on him, force pressure him. And again, most people can't fighting backwards. So knowing that Terrence is a counter puncher and also Canado as well. Canado can pick up the tempo, and I think it could be a problem if you see too many punches. It's hard to counter all of them. He may get caught, but there's other ways as well. Terrence too can come out there and really um, be a little bit quicker. Who knows? He can maybe pop him with quicker jabs, put more things together than other fighters in the past haven't with Canado, especially again him coming up in weight. Ooh, I need to drink me an energy drink, Monster. You need to send me some cases. But I would say that like him going up in weight, that's going to be one of those things where the power be behind there because we know Canelo definitely has the power to put down someone like Crawford. But again, it's a styles make fight, so we will see what really transpire out of those two going forward because we got a lot of time. But I am very much excited the fight bonus because I think if you sit there and put pressure on guys to really try to again um, end the fight instead of just going to decision and looking pretty and dancing around, I think a lot more people will be more inclined to watching boxing more often, right? Instead of watching YouTubers, imagine they think that they are professional fighters. Now, that being said, no diss to the YouTube fighters because I seen Charleston White and one of the Island Boys fighting this past weekend. That was a funny fight. Now, Charleston White being every bit of like 54 years old, and you got this weirdo kid, Island Boy, whatever he is, again, a weirdo. I don't understand like why people entertain and put so much money behind it, not realizing that there's real fights to be had, and we're looking at skill differential rather than clicks and views. I think that's a big problem nowadays when it comes to sports and entertainment is that we're more worried about the demographics than actually watching the sport. I would say like this is no disrespect to women. That's like when women in the WNBA say that the attendance numbers need to come up. You're absolutely right. That comes down to the main product of what you're serving. So if you're a women's NBA, wouldn't you want women watching the basketball game? Just a thought. I don't understand why they would think that their main demographic would be men if it's a women's sport. Of course, men support and watch women's basketball. That's without question. But I do think it's the same when you look at it in boxing that to tie it all up. If you want people to watch your product, then start giving them the knockouts. Start giving them the fights they want to see because at least the YouTubers will at least make it entertaining enough that we all know, at least if it's a fixed job, then both people got paid handsomely, like a Mike Tyson and a Jake Paul, instead of knowing that these two great fighters of Terrence Crawford and Canelo being held back so long. Again, weight class is one big issue, but to look at it too is like, why would they have to wait this on in their career to get the big money that they're waiting for is ridiculous. So I don't know, but at least we'll see what's going to go down in September and see how this new fight purse will probably pick up the intensity. Now, really quick, I'm gonna get into some subject where it's saying that my man Jamie. I'm not going to try to butcher this man's last name. All right, don't DC. We ain't doing it. But no, if you got his B sample comes back positive for a banned substance. So former Dreamweight champion, title holder Jamie, not doing the last name, could face disciplinary actions after his B sample came back positive for a banned substance following his May 4th unanimous decision victory over Bruno Soares. Now, Jamie could see the win overturned to a no contest, may face a suspension ranging from 6 months to a year. Jamie's team maintaining that innocence in a statement Tuesday, which confirmed his test results positive for testosterone metabolics. Ooh, so the boy was juicing a little bit. Man, seems to be kind of weird that we seen my man Ryan Garcia do the same thing. His B sample came up with the same results, and also Devin Haney got his pushed to a no decision, and also Ryan Garcia lost to Rolly last fight that messed up the rematch of him and Haney, which Haney ain't looked too impressive. You get where I'm going with this, right? Come on, boxing, we gotta fix this, man. What's the point of juicing if y'all not knocking people out at this point? Because it's crazy y'all going to decision and y'all can't flush nobody and get it over with. However, y'all find a way to keep signing some money to be getting popped for steroids and stuff is crazy. So come on, guys. Come on. If you guys in the lower weight classes can't really put no power behind your punches, then maybe you just need to move up. That's just my opinion. Now, obviously, you're in that weight class for a reason, but please move up because that is crazy that too many of y'all are getting popped for testosterone, man. That's crazy. Crazy work. All right. And then we're going to get into some MMA really fast because the biggest news coming out this weekend was the retirement of John Jones. No, without question. Boxing. Okay, real quick. It says Walter says boxing has gotten very boring. Packy looked good, but I haven't seen a good fight in a while. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And I think that that's what we're looking at when it comes to Saudi Arabia and these other countries that want to step up. Even Dana White in the future with his promotion, it's really looking towards again best fighters, best fights, big money. UFC, he did it and he still continues to do that, bring us the best fights possible. So you're right, man. Boxing is kind of the only classes that could be really interesting is the lighter classes. It's like the heavyweight division really is not interesting as it used to be. Also, there's not a lot of Americans out there in the heavyweight division making any noise. If you think about it too, that also sucks, right? I don't know. So Americans, where's the next champion coming from? We need that one kid from the hood that has no that's eating beanies and weenies and has nothing else except push your tires. I don't know, but we need that kid. His dad left him a stuff and he went to go get a pack of smokes and never came home. We need that. We We need that kid to come back, man. We too comfortable, I think, and that's what's creating these champions we get. I really believe that we need to get that kid that was out in the farm since he worked out with his country. I mean, worked out in the country with his granddad, and it comes out like Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? We need some of those people to come back to boxing. But when it comes down to UFC again, the announcement this weekend came from Dana White that John Jones let him know that he is retired. In my opinion, and I would probably put a poll up if I could. Probably would this weekend or this week on the Knockout Hour page. But uh, I think without question, if you're looking at the greatest career, not necessarily matches, but greatest career, I would say John Jones in the sport of mixed martial arts. That is my favorite. I think I've grown up with him just as like a lot of people in our age have. But you got him to same yeah. Uh no, that's GSP. So hold on, who you got SVP? Who is SVP? Let me know who that is. Because if anybody, I would say, but he was losing at the end. If Anderson Silva wouldn't have lost like if he would have probably retired before the end, then I would have said Anderson Silva. But yeah, John Jones is definitely up there. I'm trying to figure out SVP. Please help me out. Please help me out. SVP. If you could let me know who that is. My mind is not registering that right now. I'm trying to think. Sorry. Oh, GSP. Now see, now I'm glad you said see now, okay. My opinion, I really believe GSP was like that. But I think he did the same thing John Jones is doing right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. But he lost that fight to I think it was Matt Hughes. If I'm not mistaken, it may have been Matt Hughes. But he lost that fight, bro. I don't care what anybody say. He lost that one. Now, would that say he's still not the greatest? No. So you could be 100% right. I'm not arguing that. That's for sure one of the things I can agree with. But to me, it's almost like when John Jones, right? Like John Jones, in my opinion, he lost that fight to Alexander Gustafsson. He lost that first one, without question to me. He definitely lost 3 rounds to 2. But you know how the sport is. I think that like Dana tries to say a lot about, and he said it this weekend in the press conference talking about John, that in business he don't like him. Well, obviously, yeah, the man was doing coke and killing people and stuff. Yeah, I get that. But like he said, as a fighter, you put him in the octagon, there's nobody that's better than him. I would agree. I would. But I'm again, GSP is very close to a lot of people's opinion. I would take I'll take Anderson Silva over GSP. That's just me. That's just me. The things I see Silva do, I think he could do that to a lot of other people. And I really wish that GSP would have kept going a little bit longer, because I do believe he was one of those ones where he got out at the right time. He was smart, because John Jones is now running into a different era, right? Like these kids know way more skill sets than the people he fought at the time he was coming up. So I completely understand why he's getting out of the game if he is for sure this time. Because let's say when he did beat Stipe, that's his last of his era. It's not saying Stipe is fighting anybody else. He's done too. So I think he just really wants to cement his King of the Mountain status with, again, the time of his people, not the people that's going forward today. If I could be completely wrong, but that's just a me thing. All right. So Dana White ruined GSP. That was when MMA changed for me and I switched to WWE. Smart man. I think like for me, that's a good opinion. I think like the problem with UFC is that it's not too much of a guarantee that that star will remain on top as long. And so where you're having multiple champions and they don't last really long, it kind of makes it seem like anybody can do it. Rather than you had those Chuck Liddells and certain ones that had the title for like years. And it seemed like they eclipsed the division like Jordan-esque type of thing. Like we're looking at one of the last one is probably like my man Khabib. Khabib is one of those ones where there will be other fighters mentioned in the same realm as him today, only because they will keep fighting longer than he did. So it's like when Floyd left boxing, it kind of hurt boxing only because he's the only one in the modern era to have that undefeated and fought some of the younger guys, like a Canaldo, that now is a champion. Compared to, let's say, a John Jones stayed away from that because when he fought Dominic Reyes, he could have lost that fight too. And then he also went against Silva. He almost lost that one. If Silva leg wasn't compromised, John Jones would have been in trouble. So I can see where you're going. I see where you're going, man. Says, by the way, there are 11 of us watching you right now in the rec room. They said hi to 86 LF Wing TKO. What's up, y'all? What's happening? Hey, man, what's going on, y'all? What's up to the 86, everybody? 86 LF. They see them out there. Appreciate you guys. Much love to y'all. And I'm glad, man, we talking to MMA, man, because I was just going to keep drifting off by something. No, man, shout out to you guys, man. But no, I do think like let's just put this right here. If John Jones and Tom Aspinall would have fought, if I think John could have found a way to win, I still would have took John Jones. I still would have took him. I say a very close 3-2. If it went to decision, the closest 3-2 you ever going to see would have been that. But I think John would have found a way to slow him down. I don't know how. Probably a couple of kneecap kicks like he does, because I love a Rampage talk about that. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, man. But yeah, man, we'll see what will happen with Tom Espinal. They said that right now in Las Vegas talking about the future of where they're gonna go with the heavyweight title and who's gonna be next. As we got some WWE news to talk about a little bit. Because right here we had another fight where who was my man that won this past weekend? Because I definitely got to go back and watch that one. I ain't getting enough time to see it. Who fought last weekend? I mean, who was? Shoot. Oh, yeah, Roundtree and um Jemiah Hill. Yep, Roundtree and Jemiah Hill. Well, Roundtree put a beating on Jemiah Hill. And Jemiah Hill is one of those ones, man. I love that guy. Again, like losses in UFC doesn't mean you're not good. That has nothing to do with that UFC. I don't care what anybody say, right? Like I'm a professional wrestler. Yes, um, we get it, right? I'm not gonna go in depth about it. But you mean to tell me if somebody locked you in the cage for over 25 minutes, because you got 5 minute rounds, let's go 5 rounds, 25 minutes. If somebody locked you in that cage with another human being, could you survive with technique and all, with somebody else, its technique is just as good or better than yours. And you got to find a way to not quit, not tap, not submit when they are throwing the meanest strikes you have ever encountered in your life. It's crazy how the average person that's not into entertainment and or combat sports will think it's so easy for somebody just to get back up, getting knocked out. Do you know how hard it is? Do you understand the gravity of these two competitors right here, this moment? When you see a Rocky movie, number one, they're not blocking. Okay, that's clearly what you would do in a fight. You'll put your hands up and block. You wouldn't just throw a punch. But I would say, like, shout out to Jemiah Hill because I was going to give her some flack, but then I realized, are you crazy? Do you realize what these men and women do in that octagon? They are in there beating each other's face in. For in this case, being honest with you, they're making less than the average wrestler. Be real, you know, because at least wrestlers get some benefits. But you, you don't see wrestlers juicing to get an intercontinental title. Is what I'm saying. But I just think it's crazy, man. Like how when someone takes a loss in UFC, that people will sit there and say so much crap online. It's like, bro, go in the ring with somebody for 1 minute. Go in there for 1 minute with a trained fighter and see how much of a difference that is. Again, we got too many outlets for negativity instead of uplifting. Like, hey, King, keep your head up. Hey, man, you gonna get him next time. Like me, sometimes I laugh on a joke or something like that. But if I got something negative to say, I've learned to just shut up and keep it to myself. That man got a lot more to worry about than my little silly comment about his career. So big up to those two. However, Roundtree with a brilliant fight. I think he did an amazing job like his work a lot. I gotta go back and check out a full fight. I caught some little moments, but obviously, definitely got to shout out those two competitors in that fight. Now, what we all been waiting for, what we came here for, my man Brian and the rest of the Air Force, the 86th. We're right here. We're right here at the Wrestling Talk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right here. We're here. We're here. Now, I see that you're a Gunther fan. I am as well. I love the ring get out. I love when my man Ludwig Kaiser announces him out there because that's what I love about wrestling. I love the sheer fact that what we do from the start to the beginning, right? Like when you put a ring up and as you're waiting for, let's say, the expectations of fans to arrive, and we're in the back and we're sitting there having good conversations, having a grand old time, as we're in the back just loosening up, thinking about the show we about to give you guys. It's so crazy to imagine like people today don't understand why the entrance takes so long. Do you know how hard we work in this business to have that moment to walk down to the ring, having our song played? You're cheering us, you're booing us. We're creating the stage right now for you in order to learn the story we about to give you guys. And so for me, when I hear somebody like Ludwig Kaiser put over Gunther the way he does, that's the presentation of wrestling. You want that feel of a big fight. You want that presentation of a superhero, that champion, that person that just beyond all description. And that's what I love about the entertainment of wrestling. I love it so much. And we're going to get into the fact that Gunther had so much to say. And yet we got rudely interrupted by someone. And we're getting that. But Liv Morgan, she says she wants a title shot against Io Sky. Well, we look like that's going to be on hold, right? Looks like that's going to be on hold because later on in the evening, and it's so sad. I'm not laughing at her injury. It's just how things kind of transpire sometimes in life. It sucks. But Liv Morgan sustained an injury where she dislocated her shoulder going against Kyrie Zane. And so we wish she had a speedy recovery. Right now, they're indicating it's possibly that she would be back 12 to 14 weeks. Looking at some timetable after SummerSlam. So that really sucks because she is out of the major plans they have for her going into the Evolution show in Atlanta. That she was possibly going to go against the Bella twins and a matchup. Possibly think a Brie was going to come there. Now plans have changed, of course, dramatically over the past week. But here to knock it over, rest easy, Queen. We hope you recover and get back as fast as possible. And we see you out there. But the next match we had was Ivy Now and Stephanie Valkyria. We had Raquel Rodriguez and Asuka, and all of those women was participating in the fatal four-way opportunity for the Queen of the Ring that will go down, I think, this weekend. And as of right now, what I've been watching the reports online is that so far we see that WWE is continuing on to go forward with the show. So again, we will keep an eye on that when it comes down to the knockout hour. But they are saying that they are continuing on with the show. Of course, with the situation transpiring in the Middle East. So we will keep a close eye on that. But that being said, let's see. Yes. So that being said, your winner of that match and her return coming back from, again, a lot of knee repair being done for Oscar. She's been banged up, however, she is back and she gets the victory. She will move on to the next round, and that's tonight's matchup in the Queen of the Ring. And yes, Oscar is back, baby. And so we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take hip hop spotlight moment right here with the Immaculate Constellation from OC from SD. That is the Immaculate Constellation. Check it out.
plays, we about to stop making them. Couple more days, we got to drop waving them. So stuck in my ways, we about to stop so stuck in my ways, we back in stock. Baxter Stockman, fly on the wall, watching a rock band. Locked in, a locked in, making sense now. Niggas that play both sides got off the fence. I'm convinced when you play those rhymes, you not convinced. Not when it's I design like if Plato rhymed. Took a trip out west just to say those lines. One stop in Texas, my only play no rhymes, cause they know I'm timeless. NC's finest, do rewind this, beat Tampa. Me and B started out with some weak crowds, but look at us, peak now. Look at my week now, I'm weak now. Wait, like it's hard being discreet now. Brand new Jordan 5, see my defeat. All the time pain turning to rhyme, see my defeat. Whatever's out of control, you off the lead, off the beat, nigga. Fish, still thuggin', still going, chill thuggin'. Been a long road, niggas will turn on you. Hey, it's been a long road, still thuggin', still going, chill thuggin'. Been a long road, niggas will turn on you. Hey. Slip to the hill on the Johnny Deal. 3 bad bitches on the Halloween. My, think we got her. Baby, let me grab the wheel. Too much attention on it. You only hear from 10 to 2. What's the tension on it? Just meet me after in the room. What's the tension? Make sure your friends hang around for the legend. Don't get found in my mentions, baby. Don't get found in the mentions. Cause you define it best as profound as the Simpsons. Bitch.
Hey man, I love that song right there. That is a slick song right there, boy. Whoo! That's that fire right there. That's that fire. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining on the Knockout Hour. I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Thank you for joining. I see you on joining us on Twitch. Glad to have you here at the Knockout Hour. Thank you for joining us. I seen Cuz was in the chat too. What's up, Phyllis? How you doing? All right. So we're gonna get back to some more wrestling news. All right, and some results. So as I stated earlier, and my man Brian, I am here for it too. The ring general Gunther came back as again the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and I love the fact that he is the champion. I love the fact that they had a little interruption from a man in Atlanta called Goldberg. If they had to do this for Jey Uso, I think it's the right call because it only makes sense that if the show's gonna be in Atlanta, you know, the company, you gotta make money, baby. Gotta make that. But when it comes to Jay, maybe you want enough 5 letters, 1 word, money. I know what time it is. Maybe you ain't used to it on this show, but I know what time it is. That's right, baby. I know what time it is. Yes, sir. And I know Gunther is a great champion. And I think they need to add more layers to Gunther. Really put him more into storylines. We need to get CM Punk there. We need to get the LA Knight involved. I think they do need to move LA Knight to Monday Night Raw. That's something that needs to be had. But I do believe that if you had better competition for Gunther, it only makes the title more. So if they put more layers to it, and look with Kaiser back to him, and he's a bump dummy. You know, you need a guy that he can depend on. I know they had Giovanni. I think they cut him a little too early. They could have added some layers to that. But yeah, man, I do enjoy Gunther as our champion. I think they're gonna do very well. When it comes down to him and Goldberg on July the 12th, and that's gonna be a Saturday night main event. I do believe Gunther should and will retain it. That will be Goldberg's last match as a professional wrestler. I hope it is. So not in a bad way to say anything about Bill Goldberg because I am a Bret Hart fan, Bill Goldberg, and I do believe that what you did to Bret Hart, Bill Goldberg, was hey, it is what it is. However, you will fall to the greatness of Gunther, Bill Goldberg. All right, so then we had JD McDonough versus AJ Styles. And without question, I mean, nothing against JD McDonough, but it's AJ Styles, baby. I mean, I can see where the Judgment Day is constantly messing with AJ Styles because it's leading up to them and Dirty Dom. But I do not see like where they should take the belt off of Dominic Mysterio right now. I think Dominic's doing a great job. If anything, he needs to start losing the layers of the friends around him and his support. He already lost Carlito. So we know Carlito's contract is not going to be renewed. There's nothing wrong with that. I think some people need to put things in perspective. If you had a company where you're hiring new talent day by day, because you got to look at the future of the next talent of 10 to 15 years to keep the product growing, not the talent of yesterday. There is by no means no disrespect among us in our business to be told that, hey, guy, this is it for you. Because a lot of people get spoiled in the imagination to think that every time you go somewhere or you go to a let's say like a promotion where you get in the locker room and you think you're supposed to be, man, you get lucky if you get water sometime. And that's not putting it down to the promoter, right? I know how it is. It's tough. But for a lot of people out here to be thinking that everything with wrestling is champagne and caviar, it's not. You know, it's levels to this. So don't get it twisted. A lot of these stars, even my trainer, there's been several other people I've seen on the indies. Without without doubt, they should be on TV. However, that's not happening for them right now. But the ones that's on TV, I'm pretty sure that they made enough money to sustain themselves for years to come, be able to do something outside of the business. Because a lot of us don't get that chance like a person like me. I love what I do, right? Have no shame in every single performance I put on. I love what I do. If the higher ups want to give me a call without question, I'll pack my stuff and give it a shot, right? But to say like that someone that again got those opportunities and just seemed to be like it's not best for the company right now, did that mean it closed the door for them there? It just mean it opened up more doors for them to make opportunities somewhere else. So a lot of people got to stop trying to hijack the concept of we will be all right. You know, we know what the business is. If you get to that level, it's freaking phenomenal, and we're happy for everybody up there. But when they had to come back and we see them in the locker room, it's not like we talking about, oh man, look how far they fell. We'd be like, nah, man, what'd you learn up there? It's something you could teach me. If you was a smart wrestler, because maybe if you learned that, maybe you know how to get to the top too, right? So that's just one thing I wanted to add to where I just see like where people be like, oh well, you know, some people get let go. Yeah, that may be true, but like Carlito. But you think Carlito don't know that at this point in his career? Obviously, he know his worth, and that's why he went on by the business. So then you got Bayley. She comes in there talking a little smack to Becky Lynch as we see that they could possibly be setting up a triple threat for the women's Intercontinental title, or it's gonna be Bayley versus Becky Lynch, but we'll see what happens with that. Then you got my man. Oh, we had Liv Morgan versus Kyrie Zane, where of course again Liv Morgan sustained that pretty bad injury. She dislocated her shoulder, so she'll be out for some time. Then you had Jay Uso versus Rusev versus Sheamus versus Bronson Reed in an exciting match to end the show. You even had the likes of Cody Rhodes showing up to help out on the efforts of helping out Jay Uso with the win and potentially now setting up the opportunity to get that chance at Gunther at SummerSlam if he can persevere and win his qualifying match and then also win the final match. So good show when it comes to that. I've heard people say the ratings about Raw is low. Again, I really don't care. I'm not. See, that's why I think people need to stop with that stuff, man. Just watch what you like to watch. Let's say if you, all right, great show I love to watch, right? Let's say Dragon Ball, right? I love to watch Dragon Ball when I get the time to watch. So it's not like to say when people will be like, man, you ain't watch One Punch, Dragon Ball ain't better. I don't care. Like that could be true. Okay, great. But I'm not saying it to disrespect you. I just like what I watch, right? I don't care. That could be very true. But that's like to say, like, well, it's rated as one of the highest shows ever. That's great for One Punch. I'm not tripping, not at all. But to tell me I need to watch 14 years worth of a TV series to convince me, it's not going to convince me. It's not even about a comparison. I just like Dragon Ball, right? So that's like me. I don't care what the numbers say. The numbers don't determine if I like a product or not. I like what I like. So, ladies and gentlemen, just like the product and shut up. Could trust me, if all y'all was out here booking shows, it would be the we as the performers would be hurt every week if we had to do with the booking you want us guys to do. All right. So then we had a John Cena promo to start off Friday Night SmackDown, and of course, oh excuse me, we had John Cena versus Ron Ron Killings, better known as R Truth. They had a one-on-one matchup. Again, Ron Killings had a lot of heat and animosity towards John Cena, and there was a disqualification, and their winner was Truth on that match. Then you had LA Knight. He kicks off Friday Night SmackDown, which I like me some LA Knight, man. He was out there talking his smack to Paul Heyman. I do again believe that they may end up switching LA Knight to Monday Night Raw because I think that he has more layers with storytelling if he joins that brand for a little while as Seth Rollins and the gang is over there. And I do think too that I've seen that question a lot. Should LA Knight become a world champion or a universal heavyweight champion? Honestly, yeah, why not? If you made Jey Uso champ, then I don't see no problem making LA Knight champ. Um, it's great to have people on that level where the crowd wants them to be up there, and he's got it organically. He didn't get it through no mega push through the backs. He got it through going out there being himself, and I like that because I do the same myself. So I see a lot of characteristics of LA Knight is the common man that he's like your internet version of like Stone Cold. You know what I mean? Like if you get that man that title, I'm telling you, man, I think a lot of people will be excited with his work. So we had another Queen of the Ring qualifier match between Asuka and Alexa Bliss. And this match right here went down to your winner was Asuka. So Asuka is moving on. And then you had Ron Killings attack. And then you also had Cody Rhodes speaks out. So we got that going on. Ron Killings again is on a warpath with everybody on the roster. Then you got the King of the Ring semifinals between Sami Zayn and Randy Orton. And your winner was Randy Orton. And then you had Naomi. She was very close to cashing in the Tiffany Stratton, but Nia Jax warded her off. And so we had to wait for another day for that to happen. Then we had Charlotte Flair. She went against Chelsea Green. And your winner in that match was Charlotte Flair. And then you had Solo Sokoa calling out Jacob Fatu, which I think is a huge mistake for Jacob Fatu. However, we don't know from Solo's time of being around the great Roman Reigns, the one and only tribal chief, that he learned a lot of tricks up his sleeve. So we will keep an eye on that because we see reports that WWE has some more of his family members. I think Haleku is possibly being ready to be added to Solo Sokoa's group, the rogue group that he has. And then you had LA Knight versus Big Bronson Reed, and your winner was LA Knight by disqualification. Yeah. But then you had one of the greatest promos that was probably done in the modern history of wrestling. When it came down to John Cena cutting his epic pipe bomb on CM Punk. And let's talk about it. Now, reason why that was so good is because he made people realize that the champion that you have is again a product of the company that pays you. Let me say that again. The champion that you have is a product of the company that pays you. Now, with that being said, CM Punk wasn't one of those guys where he walked in looking for a chance. No, this man left the company with his epic pipe bomb, like he said in the same run as John Cena, and it puts it back into perspective. How John Cena, what CM Punk said is he's going to win the match against John, and he's going to walk away with the title, and he did. And we're looking at the same potential factor when it comes down to John Cena leaving the WWE after, again, 25 years in the business, retiring as a 17 world champion, world champion. Thank you, big dog. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. But we're looking at the fact that these two guys right here, trading off on the best promos I've heard in the business. I never really was a fan of CM Punk, but he made me admire his work because as an older worker too, because I'm up in my 30s, so right. He talks with so much conviction, he makes you believe. And the same as John Cena, his last promo made me believe that maybe, just maybe, there's some hope for the future of WWE. And maybe some of these young guys will learn that there's still time and place for stories, and there's always going to be time and place for action. But please, I implore you guys, go to promo school, take your time, look in the mirror, and practice, just like I try to do. And if it don't work out, hit the record button and do it again. On my phone, I got probably say 20 to 30 missed up promos before I let out a good one. Why? Because practice makes perfect. And when you're out there live and performing like these men and women will be in less than 4 minutes at this point, the countdown begins to Monday Night Raw. I want you guys to venture over to my social media sites and follow me, give me a shout out, say what's up. And my name on Facebook is Teddy Ireland Jr., but you can find me also on all these other things on at TKO336. Definitely stop by YouTube, check out some of my matches, give me a like, share, subscribe. I'll let your boy so people know where to find me. But this weekend, again, I'll be out there at Pillar Recreation Center in Greensboro, North Carolina, this Saturday, June 28th. We'll be out there. Doors open up at 6. Doors be first match start at 6:30. Doors open up at 5:45. It's only $10. If you ain't doing nothing to Greensboro area, come on out. Need a 336. Come out, represent. Y'all say y'all want to come see me? Well, come see me. Especially this is my first time I think I'm wrestling in Greensboro. So yeah, show up, show some support. But other than that, man, we got some exciting stuff coming down when it comes down to the wrestling tonight. I want to give a shout out again. I can't say it enough for our military forces, especially the 86th Airlift Division out there holding it down in Germany. We want to thank you guys, especially my producer too, DC. He loves you guys. He was in the military as well. But for me, man, I just know that this week is going to be great. It's going to be great because we got to speak things into existence. So as you go on this week, just realize a couple of things, and we'll go on with the proceedings of this week. But I want you to know that first and foremost, you are loved. You are loved. You have a purpose. You wake up every day. Be able to start your day off right. Just giving yourself daily affirmations to remind yourself that you are loved. Now, number two, also sit there and give gratitude. There's so many times throughout our day that we want so many people just to be able to lift us up when they're at their weakest. But you also need to thank someone for the little time it takes them to do the things they do for you. If somebody's being kind, courteous, nothing bothering you too much, especially the people out there at Brightspeed or on my turf when I'm coming to see you guys. But it doesn't take much to just again say hello, be kind, be grateful, and just be nice to an individual because you never know what they'll lead you to. But those are little things I like to drop and give you some positivity this week. But tonight you're on Monday Night Raw again. It's gonna be on Netflix. Check it out. We're gonna have a good time talking about it next week. I'll throw a poll on the old knockout page this week coming up as well. A couple of questions. Ask about some John Jones and what do y'all think? Heck, I'll probably even post that question about is John Jones, who's the greatest fighter of all time? John Jones or GSP? We'll look into that too, right? But I just want to thank you, everybody, here at the Knockout. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you back here next Monday to talk about some more action. Love y'all. Have a good week. See you. Peace.
What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? I got a TKO on the back where the pool is at. What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? Got some toolies of my own, I don't need a plan.
Hold up, no sir. Step into the mic, bring me closer. Sabotage back in the lab, and to stop that you gonna have to go through both. That swole up. Anytime I pull up the bars, I buck up my shoulders and pour the heart. Word to God, my gears push to start a feature, but my skill set a la carte. Woo! You don't understand. I got some sins in one palm of my hand. Balls are right, rigid and bodies get